Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Snackbox. Hope you all are having an amazing day. Guys, I've been farming Finite Heart 10 the last day with 20,000 energy, and today we are going to take a look at what we got in terms of artifacts. Did we get anything good? I have a lot of artifacts in my inbox, and I'm gonna go through all of this, sell all the bad pieces. I do also have a filter that filters out all the 5-star gear. So the only things that I'm keeping is 6-star epics, 6-star legendaries, and 6-star mythicals. From the 20,000 energy, I got 35,000 points in the Predator's Path. That's 1.75 points per energy. That means if you are trying to go for the 4-star soul, that will cost you around 35,000 energy, 34 to 35,000. Depends on the artifacts that you are dropping. A little bit of RNG, right? And then if you want a 5-star soul, it will cost around 52,000 energy. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna sell all the artifacts that I don't want to keep, and then we're gonna take a look what's left. All right, so there we go. These are the pieces that we are going to keep from 500 super raids. That means 1,000 artifacts, right? And just keeping to see how they roll. And at the end, we might keep like 1 or 2 pieces, something like that. And so far, there wasn't really a super insane piece in here. So let's sell these ones. They were useless to me. And by the way, this might be different on your account. Maybe you wouldn't keep any of these pieces, or maybe you would keep even 5-star pieces on your account. It depends on your account, right? It's perspective. This is just a filter that I use for my account, and maybe this doesn't, apply to your account. So what we are really trying to get on this free X Savage event is a Savage set, obviously. And we get pieces like this. This is not too bad for me. I mean, it has crit damage, HP percentage, crit rate. And the better stat here instead of flat HP would have been speed. Now, the fact that we don't have speed on this, it becomes instantly not so good. And we rolled flat HP too, so it's pretty much useless for me, right? If I would have rolled crit damage, crit rate, it would have been much better. Let's take a look at this. So again, crit rate, crit damage, flat HP. If this was speed, it would have been much better. But it's going to be, probably, yeah. So we're going to sell this unless it rolls like a quad or something. Then I might ore it, but no, not like this. So that's going to get sold away straight away. Then we have here accuracy, attack percentage, crit rate. So those stats are good, but again, flat HP. Still, if we hit, anything but flat HP, I might be able to use this piece. So we're gonna roll this. Oh, it's loading a lot. What's going on here? There we go. Okay, triple crit rate roll, not bad. That makes it up, for the lack of speed on this piece. Now we can basically pair this piece with another piece that has a lot of speed and no crit rate, for example. Then we go to this epic piece, which is probably the best one out of those that we just rolled. But it also, okay, we got a split roll here. It's not so good, but let's see what is the last stat on this. resistance. Okay. So this is for the future Joanne that I'm going to pull, maybe. And then we have a piece like this, right? No crit damage, no crit rate, but let's see if we can hit that quad speed. If not, I'm gonna sell this. All right, so we hit resistance and speed. Nothing really that is too exciting, so I'm gonna roll it one more time and see whether, So we hit HP percentage, resistance, and speed. This is basically useless, so it's gonna get sold. Then we got this piece right here. Also no crit rate, no crit damage, but let's see. Can we hit the quad speed on this one? Also not. We hit flat HP, flat attack and attack percentage, so I'm gonna sell this. Not usable. I'm gonna sell this straight away because we have flat attack, we have a low speed roll, and the best thing that can happen here is a triple speed roll, which won't make up for the lack of, percentage stats. So I'm gonna sell this. Then we got this one right here. This one looks not too bad. It doesn't have crit rate, but that's okay if we get crit rate on other pieces. So we have resistance, we have crit damage, we have a percentage stat and a speed stat. So that's pretty cool. So let's see how it rolls. Double HP percentage. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, triple HP percentage. Maybe on an HP nuker, but the lack of speed on this is also not so good, but at least we have some speed on it. Then we got this one right here. This piece is also pretty bad if I don't roll crit rate here. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna sell this. I don't know. You really want to have speed on Savage pieces, but let's see. Let's see how it rolls. Yeah, so pretty bad. Probably gonna sell this too. Then we got this one right here. Crit rate, accuracy, speed, flat HP, pretty bad. The flat HP on this, definitely. Yeah, I'm probably gonna sell this. Double accuracy roll and flat HP. It's pretty bad. Then we got this one right here with crit rate, crit damage, and accuracy. Double crit rate, not bad. Let's see if we can hit speed on the last spot. Okay, so this piece is usable, right? It has fitting stats. For example, on a Carnage, right? We have the crit damage, we have the crit rate, we have the accuracy, we have the speed, and Carnage needs accuracy and attack, right? And on the shield, you can't get attack. So the best thing that can happen is this combination for Carnage, right? Or any other attack-based nuker that needs accuracy. Now let's take a look at the gauntlets. This is pretty unfortunate. If this was crit rate instead of a flat attack, this would be an absolute beast of a piece, right? But let's take a look. How will it roll? So we rolled flat attack, obviously. Very unfortunate. Let's see the Ascension. Flat attack as well. Pretty bad, but still, I would probably just keep it and see if I can fit it in somewhere, but I really doubt it. It might be nice on a death-based nuker, right? If there was crit rate instead of flat attack, this would be a really nice piece for a Marius, for example. But also, you want to have at least one speed roll. Let's actually roll it up. Let's see where the last roll ends. Yeah, so flat attack, pretty bad. That's probably the worst outcome, to roll flat attack. That's the one stat that we don't want to roll on this piece, and we rolled it twice. Classic. Now let's take a look at this crit damage gauntlet. No speed on it, 2 flat stats, but we hit crit rate twice. That's not bad. Crit damage, Ascension, instantly. I don't know why it happens on pieces like this, but that's just how it goes. And let's see what's the last stat. HP percentage. All right, so at least we got 1 percentage stat on this. I mean, we rolled flat defense once, we got flat attack too. Yeah, probably one of my better crit damage gauntlets from the Savage set, but, I also don't farm it that much. You really have to put in an insane amount of energy to get good pieces. Here we got a HP percentage chest with crit rate on it and resistance. Then again, flat attack and flat defense. If we don't hit crit rate at all, this might be an insta sell. Yeah, no speed on it. I don't know. It's so hard to use pieces like this. So yeah, so now it's gonna be sold because I rolled flat stats twice. And yeah, that's not gonna help me at all. It's just gonna take up space. And then we got this one. A chest piece with a resistance main stat, which is now pretty interesting because we got Joanne in the game. Obviously, I don't have her yet, but you know, you never know. So it might be not a bad idea to keep pieces like this. So we have speed on it, pretty good. High roll as well, high crit rate roll, and then attack percentage. The only, the only stat that doesn't really matter that much is the accuracy here. So we really want to avoid this accuracy roll right here. So let's see. Gonna roll it to 12. Triple crit rate, pretty insane, pretty nuts. And we got a quad crit rate roll on this. This is pretty nuts on a resistance chest. A quad crit rate roll. This is pretty nuts, but I don't have a champion to put this on yet. So maybe in the future. Then we have this right here. Death percentage main stat, crit rate and speed. Not so sure about this one. If we can hit speed, it might be good. If not, if we hit res like this, it is pretty bad, to be honest. So death percentage and attack percentage don't really go well together. Doesn't really matter that much, right? To have both stats on the same piece, unless there's a attack death based nuker that I'm not aware of, or I don't know, but I don't use any, so I'm just gonna sell this. And yeah, that's been pretty much it for 20,000 energy. That's what you get. So some okay pieces for my account, I guess. I think the best one was this. The quad crit rate roll on a resistance chest. And then, I don't know. Wasn't really that exciting, to be honest. But then again, I also don't have a lot of luck on my savage gear. I have better luck on my lethal gear. All my nukers are built in lethal. And that is kind of the thing that I want to get at. The amount of energy you have to put in to get good savage pieces. I mean, obviously, I also got, pieces from the stun set, pieces from the shield set, and so on, and all these, niche uses for sets, which you also need here and there, but really the main thing you want to get out of the Fire Knight is this savage set. So yeah, like I said, it is so much easier to get the lethal set going, right? You do the silver keys in the hard Doom Tower. I actually lost some battles here, but that's okay. I think some of these are not geared. And you get, a couple of crafting materials. Then you go in here. Where is it? Right here. We can craft like 14. Do some like this. And then use the speed charm. And then let's see. What do we get out of 10 crafts? All right. Doesn't look too good, I think. But yeah, I mean, you get what I'm saying. It is really easier to get a set going from the lethal set than from the savage set because it doesn't cost energy, right? All you have to do is be able to beat the boss and farm it on this rotation, and you can get your lethal set going. The problem is that you're limited to it, right? So you can only farm it as much as the game allows you to. And that is kind of the difference between lethal and savage. There's really no limit for you in energy. If you want to buy more energy, you can pretty much farm savage, 24/7. Where for the lethal set, you can only farm it as long as you have silver keys and as long as it is part of the rotation, right? So that's the thing. So for free-to-play players, this is definitely so much easier to get, lethal sets, like a good lethal set than a good savage set. Most of the time you will get 5-star pieces, which is absolutely horrendous in the like from the dungeons, right? And then you also have all these other sets that are completely useless. Frenzy, Curing, Fury. Nobody uses these sets anymore, and they're just, I don't know. It's just silver basically that you get here. Besides the regeneration set, but you also only need, maybe 1, 2 decent sets, and then you're good. Same with the stun set. The crit damage set could be quite nice. For example, for tightest teams, to build a champion with the highest crit damage and so on. Shield set as well, but immunity, curing, fury, frenzy, I don't know. They're not really that helpful. So most of the time you get pieces that, or like sets that are useless or don't really benefit you or help you to progress. And what you really want is that savage. And like I said, most of the times you get 5-star pieces from the hardest dungeon mode, which is not so cool, to be honest. So 20,000 energy didn't really get me anything. You really have to put in a serious amount of energy to get good stuff out of there. I got one piece that is maybe usable at some point when I pull the right champion. And now if we take a closer look at my savage gear, I mean, I have some good pieces like this and so on, but I'm not really using a set on anybody. But, I have 2 pieces on my seer, or actually I do have a full set on my seer, right? But that's pretty much it. So I don't know, right? It's not really helping me to farm savage gear at the moment. Also, it depends on how many nukers you have, right? Because like I said, you're limited to the lethal gear, right? Or how much lethal gear you can get. You're limited to it, but most of my nukers, they are wearing lethal, right? So that's the thing. If you're opening a lot of shards and you get a lot of nuker mythicals or whatever, and you don't have enough lethal gear, then that's when you have to farm savage, or you just wait for upcoming lethal rotations. So I would say the lethal set is more of a free-to-play type of set, where savage is the pay-to-win version, even though the savage set is slightly worse because it doesn't have the additional crit rate as a set bonus, which makes it harder, right? Which makes it harder to get a good set going, and also makes it harder to outshine the lethal set if you have a good set. So this 10% crit rate, that's like additional 2 rolls, right? On top. So yeah, that's pretty much it. All that I wanted to show you. So in general, I would say it is a good thing to farm Fire Knight on a free X Savage event. That's probably the best time to do it to get better gear. But at the same time, you will need to put in a lot of energy to get good gear, right? Another reason why I did it now is because of the Predator's Path, right? I got 35,000 points, which allows me to get this 4-star Assault. I'm not too interested in this 4-star Predator Soul, but I could push there too, right? But do I really want to? Probably not. I don't plan on using this champion. And also, there will be a lot more events coming up. We will have a Christmas event soon, a Yuletide event soon. We will have maybe another collab at the start of the year, like we had this year. In January this year, that's when the Alice adventure started. So I want to be prepared for that. That's why I'm going to save up my, resources that I have and not, use it for this 4-star soul, which I'm probably not going to use anyway. So in terms of points, I think I ended up on the global leaderboard. Not so high. I think a lot of people are farming much more Fire Knight than me, but we got 68,000 points. We got almost 1 Primal Shard from first place in our group. Insane. And we should be in the lower half somewhere. There we are on 71 with 68,885 points. I think really if you wanna get good pieces, you have to be up here somewhere, right? That's where you want to be to get some good pieces, and that's the amount of energy you have to invest for it. So now we have a Dragon Turn Attack tournament, right here. Let's start it today. And I think we also have a 3x speed event on the dragon, which is not bad. I'm considering to farm that too, but I don't really think I should do it right now. I will just save up my energy for something else, I think. But yeah, if you still need better speed gear, then, you know, this is a good time to farm the dragon. And also get points for the Predator's Path if you want to get the soul or something else out of it. So yeah, guys, that's been pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button. It really goes a long way. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more raid content. YouTube algorithms can suggest you a video that you might like right here. And see you in the next one.